Yeah, today's class STLC. Okay, so STLC stands for Software Testing Life Cycle. Okay, so STLC phases. STLC phases, or we can call it as stages. Okay, the first one, requirement analysis and test plan and test cases creation or authoring. Okay, and also test cases review and RTM template. And the sixth one, test environment readiness. Or we can call it as test bed, test cases execution, defect life cycle, and test summary and test sign. Okay, so these are the 10 phases are there in the STLC. Okay, now today I am going to explain the first one, requirement analysis phase. Okay, requirement analysis phase means nothing but a, for suppose, first I am going to start here. Requirement analysis phase. Okay, I think I already explained what is meant by requirement analysis. What is meant by requirement analysis? Okay, so there is one client is there. The client will give the requirements. The BA team will receive the requirements, and the BA team will give the requirements to testing team. Okay. BA team collect the requirements from the customer. Okay. After that, BA team will assign the requirements to testing team. Okay. Okay. So now the testing team, what they need to do, first of all, they need to understand this requirement. Okay. Whether the given requirement is understandable or not. Is there any questions on that particular requirement? Is there any gaps on that particular requirement? So as a tester, first of all, we need to understand the requirement. Okay. Whether the given requirement is properly given or not, we need to verify the requirement. Okay. And after understanding the requirement, you guys need to analyze the requirements. So analysis. So how many scenarios are coming? So what are the scenarios we need to find out? Okay. So those things we are going to do analysis part. Okay. So, and also if you guys are find out any issues, if you guys are find out any issues in the requirement, then those issues you guys need to discuss with the BA team. Okay, so I have some questions in that particular requirement. Then you guys need to connect with the BA team. You guys need to connect with the BA team. See, I have so these questions. So can you please clarify these questions? You guys need to ask with the BA team. Okay. Now BA team, what they are going to do? They are going to clarify the requirements. Okay, so they are going to clarify the requirements. So, or otherwise, if they have the answers, they can provide the answers. Or otherwise, they don't have answers, then we are going to discuss with the client. Okay, so and so requirement we are unable to understand. So please clarify that particular requirement. You guys need to ask the BA team or client. Okay, so once You guys are asking the question, they are giving the proper solution for that particular requirement. Okay. And also after that, we need to verify whether the given requirements are testable requirement or not. Okay. So whatever the requirements the client has provided, those requirements are testable requirement or not. Okay. So and also whatever the queries you guys are find out. Okay. You guys are reviewing the requirements. Okay. You guys are understanding the requirement. While understanding the requirement, you guys are faced some issues. Those issues you guys need to update in the query tracker. Okay. So we have a one query tracker is there. See, in that query tracker, you guys need to update the queries. Okay. So for suppose, I'm going to give an example. See, for suppose this is the my requirement. Okay. So in this requirement, maybe I did not understand the functionality. Okay. So you guys need to mention. So in the comment section, maybe the requirement is requirement is not clear. Okay. So what not clear? You need to mention. So what is the application you can, what is the requirement? You are unable to understand. You guys need to mention in the Jira ticket, or otherwise we have a query tracker is there. There is a one query tracker. So in that query tracker, you guys need to mention. I'm going to show the query tracker. Okay. This is the query tracker. Okay. In this query tracker, you guys need to mention what is the query ID and query description. Okay. For suppose I'm going to mention here one of the query. So there is like some of the filters are not or otherwise. Some of the requirements are unable to understand. Okay. So example. So I'm going to provide the example is nothing but a see. The first one. Okay. If if uh if the date between so 1 to 90 days, if the date between 91 to 90 days, then the status should display new. Okay. And the next one, if the date between 90 to 180 days, then status should be test should display open. Okay. If the date between 180 to greater than 180 or otherwise greater than 179 days, then status should be display close. Okay. So our question is which one is correct? Which one is correct? So 1 to 90 days, 91 days to 180 days, and 181 days to greater than 180. Okay. So we need clarification. Okay, we need clarification. We have mentioned this is the requirement. Okay, this is the requirement I have mentioned. So I am unable to understand. So query assigned to. Okay, query assigned to, there is a BA team, or we can call it as from client side person. Okay, so query identified by. Okay, now I have the identify the query. So that is the reason I mentioned TestBug. Okay, resolution. Still, we are not getting the solution from the customer or BA team. Associated functionality. This functionality is related to a table. There is one grid, or we can say that there is a ABC grid is there. There is a one ABC grid. Okay, assign date. Which date you guys are assigned? So I am assigning today. Today I am going to assign that query and resolution date. Whenever we are getting the solution from the customer, then only the resolution date should be mentioned. So the status of the query is open. Okay, we have two statuses. One is open and one is closed. Okay, now this status is open. Okay, now this is the query I have identified. I'm assigning to the BA team or client team. Okay, so while understanding this requirement, while understanding, they have provided some requirement. While understanding this requirement, I have faced this is the issue, and this issue I am updating in the query tracker. Why these things are required means, see, we have a there are some added sections are there. Okay, the added section, we need to explain. See, what are the queries you guys are identifying? Okay, if you have the query tracker, you need to track all the issues you guys are facing. Okay, whatever the issues you guys are faced, you guys need to track in this query tracker, or otherwise here you guys need to mention in the ticket. But what will happen if you guys are mentioned in the ticket also, you can track by using this query tracker. Why? Because see, we have a audits every quarter. Okay, every quarter we have a audits. Okay, so on that day, maybe we cannot able to find out exactly which story guard we have mentioned the comments. So that is the reason, if you guys are using this query tracker, you guys can easily explain to them. So this is the query I have identified for this particular functionality, and for in this particular date. Okay, and I have assigned to so and so person. Okay, if you guys are getting some solution, okay, the solution should be like this. Okay, 1 to 90 days. Okay, I mentioned 1 to 90 days new state. Okay, and the second one, so 91 to 180 days. Open state, and 181 to greater than 181, 180. So days close status. Okay, I'm getting this is the resolution. So I'm going to mention the date. Maybe I'm getting on today is 5th. I'm getting the response from the client on 7th, 2024. Okay, now the status of the query is move to closure status. Okay, so this is the way we need to update the queries. Okay, if they are going to ask whatever the queries you guys are find out in the requirements, you guys need to show this is the query we have identified and we got the solution from the customer. We can able to show this tracker. Okay, so that is the reason this query tracker is using. Okay, Now you guys are understand what is the requirement. Requirement analysis means nothing but a first we are getting the requirement from the customer, and those requirements will receive by the BA team, and BA team will assign the requirements to testing team. The tester, they need to understand the requirement, whether the given requirement is understandable or not. If there are any queries on that particular requirement, you guys need to discuss with the BA team and the client team. Okay. If there are some queries are there, those queries we are going to update in the query tracker. Okay. And we can verify the requirement is testable requirement or not. Okay. So this is the requirement analysis part. Okay. Are you guys are understand? Still any confusion here?
Sir, that query tracker headers will be same for everywhere,
On
or
the
it is
company.
based
Like
on the company?
that depends on the company. Maybe see that is easily you can understand. If otherwise you guys are unable to understand, you guys can ask with the team. See what are the status. For suppose there is a heading is there. So maybe you are unable to understand. You can ask the existing team. See what we need to mention here. They are going to explain.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay. So most of the times the query tracker should be same, but maybe one or two columns may be changed.
Yeah. Identified by is nothing but like who has identified it, right, sir? Like
So I'm the identifier, right?
yes, yes,
Now, maybe you have identified, you are reviewing the test cases, you are understanding the requirement. While understanding the requirement, you have faced the issue. Okay.
yes.
Now, your name should be mentioned here.
Okay, sir. Yeah, got it.
Clear?
Yes, clear.
Naresh, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, understanding the requirements and analyzing the requirements, guys, this question is important. So in the interviews they are going to ask what is requirement analysis, what you guys are going to do. So whenever we guys are receiving the requirements, these things we are going to do. First of all, we understand the requirement, and after that analyzing the requirements, and after that participating in discussion on gaps in the requirements. Okay, so whatever the queries you guys are identifying, so gaps means nothing but in the requirements you guys are find out some issues. Those gaps you can discuss with the BA team or customer. Okay, participating in discussion on gaps in the requirements. Okay, and also confirming the given requirement is given requirements are testable requirements. Given requirements are testable requirements. We need to verify. And also updating query tracker. Updating query tracker. Okay. So these are the things we are going to do in the requirement analysis phase. You guys are clear?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
example you guys can take. This is the example. This is the way we are getting the requirements. BA team will receive and they are giving it to testers. Tester, they are going to find out. So the query tracker, you guys need to mention. See, I'm going to share the query tracker with you. Okay. So now you guys can see we have a like this. If you have find out some of the requirement they have provided, we are understanding the requirement. While understanding the requirement, we guys are facing this is the query, and this query you guys need to update in this particular tracker. Okay, so this is requirement analysis phase. Now the next one, test plan. Okay, so test plan. So in the test planning, we have two types of plannings, guys. One is high high level planning, and the second one is detail planning. Okay, high level planning and detailed planning. See, high level planning and detailed planning is nothing but a, see what will happen. So in this project, whenever once the sign off is done with both customer and company, okay, after that we are getting the initial requirement from the customer. Okay, so we are getting the initial requirement from the customer, so that will be received by the our test manager. Okay, once we are getting the initial requirement, our test manager, he was going to create a high level planning document. High level planning document, or otherwise we can call it as high level planning document, or we can call it as simply test strategy document. Test strategy, high level planning document or test strategy document. See, in this, he was going to create a high level planning document. Okay, high level planning document means nothing but he was going to create what is the high level test schedule. Okay, test schedule, high level test schedule, and also what types of levels of testing. Okay, levels of testing, he can identify the levels of testing and high level resources needs. Okay, what are the resources are required? So he mentioned only high level, guys. He cannot give a detailed planning document. He only just giving the high level planning document. So in the high level planning document, first of all, he was identifying the schedule, test schedule. Okay, and after that, levels of testing. What type of levels we need to perform in this particular project, and also test resources needs. How many resources are required, and staffing needs. Okay, and also test estimations, and also risks and issues. Risks and issues. So he was going to identify these are the things in the high level planning document. Okay, now here I am going to provide some of the differences between high level planning document and detailed planning document. See, high level planning document, or we can simply call it as test strategy. Detailed planning document, or we can call it as test plan. Okay, test plan document. Okay, here high level planning document, it explains entire project. Okay, high level planning document, it represents entire project. Now comes under detailed planning document, it represents a particular module, a particular levels of testing, or release wise the test lead will going to create the high level test planning document. Okay, now test strategy will be created by the test manager, and the test plan will be created by the test lead. Okay, and also test strategy is a input document for test plan document. Okay, so based on test strategy document, the test lead, he was going to create a test plan document. He was going to create a test plan document. Okay, so this is the differences between high level planning document and detailed planning document. Okay, guys, one more thing. This topic is not required for all of you. Why? Because see, this is related to project manager and the project team lead. Okay, team lead and manager related. The manager will create the test strategy document, and the test lead will create a test plan document. But you guys are not going to prepare this document. Okay, so if they are going to ask in the interviews, have you prepared any test plan document? Your answer should be no. Why? Because you guys are trying some freshers, or maybe if you guys are putting some experience, but in the experience, minimum 7 to 8 years of the experience is required to create a test plan document. But manager means nothing but maybe you guys need at least 12 years, 13 years. That depends on the companies, guys. So some of the companies, if you have 10 years of experience, till you are not getting a team lead, you are not getting a role, team lead. Okay, that depends on the companies. If you guys can see in the startups, maybe if you have 1 years of experience, they are going to provide test lead. That depends on the company. They are going to provide the your roles, but you are not going to participate in these documents. But still, I'm going to explain how we are going to create these documents. Okay, but you guys need to explain. They are asking test plan document. So we did not create any test plan document, but I know some of the contents in that particular test plan document. So some of the contents you guys need to explain. Okay, so in that test plan document. Okay, no need to explain all the test plan template. Okay, you guys are clear? Guys, you guys are understand what is the difference between high level planning document, detailed planning document?
Sir, can you repeat once again, sir?
High level planning document. See, I'm going to give some example. Okay, simply I'm providing, this is a test strategy document. Or otherwise I'm going to see.
Not able to hear you, sir.
Yeah, sorry guys. There is a power issue. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now you guys can see test strategy. Test strategy whenever initial requirements receive from the customer, test manager will create test strategy document. Test strategy document. Okay. Once initial requirements are getting from the customer, the test manager will create a test strategy document. Okay. Now the test plan document, okay, test plan document will be created by the team lead and based on the test strategy document. Okay, strategy document. Okay, the test lead will create test plan document by using this test strategy document. Okay, now I'm giving differences between test strategy and test plan. Okay, test strategy represents entire project. Means the strategy the manager will creating for the total project. Test strategy represents entire project, whereas test plan represents release wise or module wise, or we can call it as levels of testing wise. Okay. So manager will creating a test strategy document only once. Okay. The test plan document we are going to create, that depends on that. See, we need to create a test plan document release wise. We have number of releases. So number of times we need to update the test plan document, or we need to create a module wise. So we have number of modules. Module wise, we need to create a test plan document. Our levels of testing wise, we have different types of levels of testing. So levels of testing wise, we are going to create a this test plan document. Okay, but test strategy, it represents entire project, the total project. But test plan represents only either release wise, module wise, or levels of testing. Okay, and test strategy created by test manager and test plan created by test lead. Test strategy created by test manager and test plan created by test lead. Okay, and also here we can say that and this is a test strategy is a input document for test plan. Okay, now team lead will create test plan document by using this test strategy document. Test plan document, the team lead will create by using test strategy document. Okay, so and test strategy, we can call it as high level planning document, and test plan, we can call it as detailed planning document. Okay, you guys are understand now? Still any confusion?
Clear, sir.
Okay. Okay, now I'm going to provide the notes, high level planning document, or we can call it as test strategy. Okay, so after getting the initial requirements from the customer, our test lead, test manager will do high level test planning, to prepare a document called test strategy. Test strategy. Okay, so what is meant by test strategy? Okay, a high level planning document prepared by test manager, which documents overall testing activities carried out in the testing project. Okay, so those are, you can see, high level test schedule and test levels identification, Okay, and high level test resources needs, and also stopping needs and test estimations and risk and issues. Okay, so this is the high level planning document will be created by test manager. Okay, now comes under detailed planning document. Detailed planning document. Okay, in my project, for each release module and level of test, our test lead will prepare test plan document, which documents overall testing activities to be carried out in particular level of test. Particular level of test. Okay. Now what is mean by test plan? Test plan is a detailed planning document prepared by test lead for each release or module or level of test, which documents about which documents overall testing activities to be carried out in a particular release, okay, and the differences between test plan and test strategy. Guys, this question is important. Differences between test strategy and test plan is important question. Okay, now the first one difference is test strategy is a high level planning document, whereas test plan is a detailed planning document. Test strategy represents entire project, whereas test plan represents a particular release module or level of test. Test strategy will be prepared by test manager, whereas test plan will be prepared by test lead. Test strategy is a input document for test plan. Test strategy is a input document for test plan. Okay. So this is the differences between test plan and test strategy. Guys, any questions? Okay. Now see, these are the test strategy contents. Okay, in the test strategy, the test manager will mention these are the high level test schedule and test levels identification, high level test resources needs and staffing needs and the test estimations and risk. Okay, like this they are going to create. You guys can see this is our test plan. This test plan here the test lead will going to create like this. Okay, like this only the test manager will creating by using these technologies. Okay, now I'm going to explain the test plan document. Okay, we can call it as test plan contents or test plan sections or test plan template. Okay, so these are the things we are maintaining in the test plan. See, whatever the section, test plan identifier, revision history, introduction, scope, in scope, out of scope. Okay, these are all the terminologies. We can call it as test plan contents, test plan sections, or test plan template. Okay, now I'm going to provide what are the sections are available in this particular test plan. First of all, test plan identifier. The second one, introduction to test plan and test scope. Okay, here in test scope, we have two sections. In scope, features to be tested in current release. Out of scope, features not to be tested in current release. And test approach. Okay, test approach is nothing but a criteria going to be followed by testers in particular release. Okay, and those we can call it as UI testing, and business rule testing, and end-to-end flow testing. Okay, now next one, types of testing. What types of testing we are going to follow in this particular project? Okay, entry and exit criteria. Okay, so entry and exit criteria means nothing but a entry criteria. We can call it as entry criteria, or we can call it as, so when to start and to start testing. Exit criteria, when to stop testing. Okay, I'm going to explain. So when we are going to start testing and when we are going to stop the testing. Okay, and next one, test milestones. Okay, nothing but a test schedule. test resources needs. Okay, and work allocation. And references. And risks and issues. Authorizations. Okay, so these are the contents are available in the test plan document. These are the contents are available in the test plan document. Okay, now here I'm going to explain one by one in the test plan document. See, test plan identifier. This is my test plan identifier. The release name, description, and release date. Okay, release name, description, and release date we need to mention under test plan identifier. So I have identified my release name is release 1 pilot version, that is New Zealand. Okay, and New York, not New Zealand. Okay, New York. Okay, and release description. So in this release description, so what I need to release means nothing but a flight booking for the customer. Okay, customer, they need to book the flight. So that is the my release. I need to release that particular application. Okay, and the release date I have mentioned 4/15/2024 means so 4th month 15th and 2024. Okay, so this is called release test plan identifier. This is called test plan identifier. Now comes under revision history. Guys, you guys are understand this one, the first section. Amit and Naresh, you guys are understand what is the test plan identifier?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the we need to deliver for customer. We need to deliver in this particular test plan. Okay, here and the revision history. Revision history we have version number, date of change, action, and author. Okay, version number. So currently we are creating the new test plan document. So that is the reason the version number is 1.0. Date of change. Here we are not changing. We are creating a new document. So that is the reason that should be null. Okay, and action. So what the action we are creating a test plan. Okay, and author. So I mentioned TB is nothing but a test bug. I am creating the this particular document. Okay, if I'm going to modify, so maybe I'm going to add for next release. So for next release, I'm going to add one more row. So version number should be 1.1 or 2.0. So date of change. So on that day, if you guys are going to change this document, on that day, you need to mention the particular date. Okay, action. What you have changed, you need to mention here. Okay, maybe you are going to change something, so that you need to mention here. Okay, and author who will update this document. Okay, like this the version history will be maintained. Clear? Guys, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now introduction to this particular test plan. You guys can see the test team will follow a structured methodology during system as well as acceptance testing that closely mirrors the approach followed during the other testing phases. A set of system test cases will be created from the requirements and UI specifications. Okay, and reviewed for completeness and accuracy. Business rule test cases will also be created as part of system test cases. Prior to test execution, an entrance criteria and readiness review will be held to ensure the test environment is ready for use. Okay, once determined and the environment is built, the on-site offshore team test team will execute the system and regression test cases using Jira and manual test execution. Okay, and defects will be logged, corrected and retested, and all testing activities will be reviewed and documented in status report and a final summary report. Okay, and test execution will be reported and managed by the travel test plan team, test team. Business analyst will perform the majority of acceptance testing, but may decide to include other business partners in the activity. Okay, so here we are going to mention what type of testing we need to perform. Here we are going to perform system testing and as well as acceptance testing. System testing means nothing but I explained, you guys are remember levels of testing. So unit testing, integration testing, system testing, acceptance testing. You guys are remember or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here I'm creating system test plan means in this application we are going to perform system testing. The acceptance testing will be performed by customer side peoples, not us. Okay, so in this testing, what we are doing? So we are creating a test cases based on the requirements and UI specification. UI means nothing but a UI diagrams they have provided, application functionality, or otherwise they are going to provide some of the Figma, some of the like we can call it as screenshots. They are going to provide to prepare the test cases, and based on that we have prepared the test cases and we can review the test cases also. Whatever the test cases you guys have prepared, those will be reviewed by me. Okay, like this in these projects, I'm preparing test cases. I'm going to share with my team lead or my colleague or my manager or my client, depends on. Okay, I'm going to share. So because of they are going to review and they are giving a sign off, test cases sign off. Okay, and after that, we are going to execute the test cases. While executing the test cases, we need to check entry criteria. Entry criteria is nothing but a, so in entry criteria, we need to verify whether the testable code is available or not. Whether the testable code is available or not, we need to check, and we need to check whether the testable what we can call it, yeah, test environment is ready or not. We need to verify. See, without test environment, the build will be not deployed into testing environment. Okay, so first we need test environment. After that, the build, the developers, they need to deploy the build into testing environment. And after that, we need to verify test data is available or not. And also we need to verify. So testing tools are installed or not. Okay, whenever these four are met, then only we can say that the test cases execution we can start. Okay, once the setup is ready, we can start testing. Okay, we are going to execute the test cases. Okay, while executing the test cases, we are going to find out some of the defects, and those defects we are going to rise in the Jira tool. Okay, or execute the test cases in Jira tool also. Okay, while rising the defects, the developers are going to fix the defects, and the defects will we are going to perform retesting and regression testing. Okay, so this is the way we are going to perform testing in this particular application. Okay, are you guys understand? Still any confusion, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys are understand or not? Guys, please respond. You guys are understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now you guys can see scope. We have two types of scopes. Okay, in scope and out of scope. In scope, see, these are the features we are going to test in this particular release. Okay, and out of scope, you guys can see out of scope features not to be tested, and we can call it as QA is not covering design based validations, and QA is not responsible for values from customer database. Okay, we are not going to test these things. This is out of scope for us. Okay, so in scope, these functionalities only you guys need to test. These functionalities we cannot test. Okay. And next one, testing approach. What is the approach we need to follow in this particular project? You guys can see. So in general, we are creating test cases based on below approach. So page level testing. Okay, I'm going to remove this one. 2 times added. Okay. Okay, so page level testing, rule based test cases, happy path and unhappy path testing we are going to follow in this particular project. Okay, page level testing is nothing but a, so for module wise we are going to create the test cases, and after that we are going to create a rule based test cases. There are some rules they have provided. Based on that rules we are going to prepare the test cases. And happy path flow, happy path flow is nothing but a, so smoke testing. In smoke testing we are going to perform happy path flow. You guys are remember? So only
Yes.
positive
Yes,
flow
sir.
we can call it as happy path flow. And non-happy path flow means we can perform both positive and negative. Okay. So this is the approach we are going to follow in this particular project. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now types of testing. What types of testing we need to test in this particular application? See, we are going to, we have, these are the different types of testings. Okay. We have functional testing, browser compatibility, performance, usability, security, smoke, sanity, ad hoc, exploratory, and database testing. Okay. See, these many testing we are going to perform. See, only one thing is for this project, we are not going to cover security testing. Okay, so security testing is out of scope for us. Security testing is out of scope for this project. Functional testing we are going to perform. Browser compatibility means nothing but a cross browser testing. Okay, performance testing we are going to perform. Usability testing we are going to perform. And smoke testing we are going to perform. Sanity testing we are going to perform. Ad hoc testing also we are going to perform. Exploratory and database testing. Okay, so these are the things we are going to perform in this particular project. Okay, clear? Okay, entry criteria, exit criteria, I'm going to explain in separate. Okay, now risks. You guys can see risks in this project. 80 QA coverage for regression testing is 80%. Okay, see regression testing. So we can mostly focus on impacted areas, not all the areas. But here what will happen? So QA coverage for regression testing is 80%. Means for suppose if you guys are prepared 100 test cases. So in that 100 test cases, again you need to execute 80 test cases. Okay, so 80% coverage again you need to cover. So that is a risk for us. Okay, why? Because regression testing means nothing but the impacted areas. You guys are remember? So whenever any defect is fixed, so we have closed the defect. So on that impact, is there any impact on that particular functionality? We are going to perform regression testing, or otherwise any new feature is added into on the existing functionality, then we are going to perform regression testing. But 100% from 100 test cases, we need to execute 80 test cases means that is a risk for us. Okay. Initially, we don't have risk, guys. Initially, we cannot find out any risk. So whenever we have started the project, while starting, we are working on that project, then we can understand what is the risk. Okay. And my last project, I already explained. I think again, I'm going to explaining. See, my project, we have 3 weeks of the sprint. Okay. In the 3 weeks of the sprint, so what is happening? 3 weeks, On the 13th day, the code freeze date. Okay, 30th day, we have a code freeze date, but our developers are continuously working on that because of there are some complexity on the development part. So that is the reason they are unable to complete the code within the timelines. Okay, so we have identified this is a risk. Why? Because we are unable to test all the tickets within the timelines, within the story duration, and we need to complete. See, 13th day, they need to stop code development, and 14th day, 15th day. So one day we are going to perform our testing, and one day we are going to perform some regression testing. Okay, but still they are still working on that coding. Means so 14th day and 15th day, maybe we are getting some tickets. So first we need to perform tickets testing, and after that we need to perform regression testing. So it is not possible. So that is the reason we have identified this is a risk, and that risk we are informed to our client. See, this is a risk we are facing in this particular project. So maybe it will take some time. We need some more time to complete this particular sprint. Okay, so initially we cannot find out because of initially we don't have any risks. Okay, so this is the way in projects we are getting the risks. Okay, you guys are understand? Guys, understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now references. References means nothing but a documents. Okay, so test plan document, RTM document, test scenarios, sample test data, results, defect summary, all the documents we have stored in some place. Okay, we have stored in some of the place. We need to open that particular template. Here we are giving the path. So we are giving the links. Nothing but a, so I need to open one link. Example, I'm going to take an example. So this is my application. What I'm doing, so this URL I'm just copy pasting here. Why I'm copy pasting? So because of I need to see this document. So directly I'm coming here, I'm clicking on this one. The application is redirecting to that particular location. Okay, so no need to like wait for so no need to search where the application we have stored like this, what the documents we have stored like this. Okay, that is a time consuming process. If you guys are searching where we have stored, we need to search in the application, it will take time. So if you guys are mentioned the references, then we can easily navigate to that particular path. So that is the reason we are maintaining the references. You guys are clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Guys, today I'm going to stop the today's session. I think I already taken 10 more minutes. Okay, we have entry and exit criteria is there. So entry and exit criteria, it will take half an hour session. So tomorrow's class, I'm going to continue the entry and exit criteria part. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, Monday class?
Yeah, again we have class on